Welcome to Through the Looking Glass. While here in Wonderland, we're going to discuss topics and share stories to help clear up the distorted views of relationships. We provide a safe place for balanced and honest conversation. While each episode can help all who listen, the focus will be on the community of color. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation. Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 5 of Relationships Through the Looking Glass. And right now, before we jump into our topic of discussion, which is going to be led by Chris, let's go ahead and start with our mental health check. So we're going to start with Chris, since he's the one wanting to stand out. How was your week, Chris?
Week is doing good. Doing great. Wonderful. I'm loving life.
Good.
He's also the reason why we started 20 minutes late. But we're not going to focus on that. Not at all. Marcus.
Doing good. Good week. Couple of changes, some new things. So far, so good.
And wonderful Keisha.
I am doing great. This has been a very relaxing week. So.
Okay.
How you doing, Michelle?
I'm caught up in schoolwork.
Yay.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Considering I was 2 weeks behind, I am now caught up. So that makes me happy. And the topic of discussion for this episode is Chris's. So we're about to roll the clip. And we're going to jump right into this because I've been waiting all day to have this discussion. So let me go ahead and get that set up.
At the end of the day, friend, none of this shit really fucking matters. Like, none of it really matters. Just stop worrying about shit.
Talk to us, Chris. Why'd you pick this episode? I mean, this.
It was just short and sweet. I mean, what you were saying, like, at the end of the day, nothing really matters. Like, or the only thing that matters is what is it that you want. And I think we've gotten to a place, like if you look at social media and when everyone's talking about relationships, and not just the intimate relationships, but even the relationships you have with coworkers, the relationships you have with family members, friends, or anything like that. And I think for most part, we put more emphasis on other people than we put on ourselves. So this goes with the previous video that I talked about, far as prioritizing yourself and putting yourself first. So that's what I mean, like nothing else matters. Like sometimes I think we get caught up on everything else around us that we don't worry about ourselves and having that good relationship with ourselves.
Okay, Chris, you came at it a different angle than I thought you would have.
Right.
I can see what
Good stuff.
Because when I saw the video, I was just like, okay, I thought 2 points. I was like, either, I didn't think about being selfish. I was just thinking about like just stuff in general. Like nothing matters. Nothing matters at all. And just, the hell with everything. So pretty much, not even caring about yourself or anything, just whatever. It's like almost like a depressive state. And it's like, I don't know, did she really, were they talking about, did they really want to be there or anything like that? That's how I kind of looked at it. But then I thought in the other way. In another way I thought about it is just like, like you were saying, being selfish and, and not worrying about what others are doing as far as like in relationship wise, but stop making the other relationship so important and value yourself. You know what I'm saying? So like, because all that don't matter, but at the end of the day, you got to, work on you. Make sure you okay.
Okay. What would you add, Keisha?
Well, for me, I was like, okay, nothing matters. I really didn't know where she was coming from with that, because she really didn't give a whole lot other than at the end of the day, nothing really matters. So I'm glad you gave, your stance on that. I was waiting tonight to hear you, kind of give your feedback as to what you were meaning by, presenting this video. So now I get it, so.
Uh-oh. Go ahead and let me have it, Michelle. You got that look.
I really can't, because like everybody's saying, you're presenting what she said different. Like what I heard when she said it was nothing matters. Like, who pissed you off today? Who hurt you? Do we need to get you to a crisis line? Because that sounds really suicidal a little bit.
Really? That's
tiny bit.
I don't know. I didn't get that.
Let me correct that. If in my day-to-day life, if somebody came up to me and said, nothing matters, it's all bullshit, nothing matters, I'm gonna start doing some fact-finding questioning to see what it is, because that could be a bit of a conversation piece that you need to go a little deeper in, because that sounds like you don't have hope. And when you don't have hope, that triggers a whole bunch of other possible responses. So listening to that as a mental health person, I would have a concern if somebody came up to me, or if I was in a session and they said that. Now, how you're presenting it is a bit different than what I heard. So earlier today, I was going to come and say, okay, when you're saying it, what is it? Because my kids matter, my friends matter, my family, my health, my job, all these things, the quality of life is based off of. So it matters. Now, what you're saying is more of nothing matters outside of yourself. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, to a certain extent. Like, and the reason I saw this, when I saw this clip, it was probably maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago when I saw this clip. And then I thought about it, but then also I had some other things going on. But I thought to myself, like, okay, what's some of the things that's caused me, I would say in the more recent times, what's some of the things that's caused me to be more down? And it's always been like involved with somebody else, or having to deal with somebody else's feelings, or how they feel about something, or me doing something that I enjoy and then somebody else not liking it. And then it's like, well, I'm taking in their feelings or accounting for their feelings more than for, hey, this makes me happy, it makes me feel good. But because somebody else is saying they don't like it, that was like weighing on me. So that's when I was like, hey man, well, it don't matter. Like, I'm going to do what I want to do, and that makes me feel good. So I mean, it doesn't matter what other people think.
Okay. And I agree with that. I'm a firm believer that I could care less what other people think. If I really cared about what other people think of me, I wouldn't be halfway near where I'm at in my career and in life. Because I've done some stuff that's been against the grain. I've kind of done stuff when people told me not to do it, then I've gone and done it because I was told not to do it. Joining the military was probably one of them. I was very directly told not to do it, down to what job not to take. And I not only joined, but I took the job. So I get that part. So I guess the question would be, how does that improve your quality of life? Like, if this is the season of self, like, how does that improve your quality of life? And for people who have challenges around that, what would you say to those people to kind of get them in that mindset?
Well, I know for me, I'm doing more so, I'm doing what I want to do. I'm not like kind of, I think I started towards almost living towards what other people wanted me to be. And it's like, okay, all right, cool. Like, all right, everybody is saying that they're like liking this new person, but then I'm like, hey, am I doing this for them, or am I doing it for me? Now, some things I do for me, but then I felt like I was leaning more towards doing things to appease other people. And it was like, man, nah, I've never been that person. And I felt myself leaning too heavy on that. And I was like, no, I got to get away from that. I want to know, do what I want to do. Not do what I want to do, but just do what I enjoy doing.
What happened that put you into that mindset? Was there an event that happened, or did something happen where that kind of just flipped for you, or that light bulb came on?
I just had to sit back and do like some self-reflection and just seeing like, okay, well, when I did this, I felt a certain way. But then when I do, like when I was doing certain things, how did it make me feel? And then was it like self-fulfilling or was it more appeasing for somebody else? So then just kind of weighing those odds and seeing what it is.
Okay, so there wasn't like an event.
No, I mean, no, not really.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can see what Chris is saying. I mean, because dealing with people and dealing with different relationships, and then like sort of, I mean, downplaying what you do for yourself and doing more for others, that can be draining. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not doing what you want to do, then that wears on you trying to um, compensate for what others want you to do. As far as like, I can say that, what I'm saying, because I'm a natural helper, or whatever. Service, whatever. If somebody asks me for something, if I'm within my means, I'm gonna do it. But sometimes I have let that role, take over as far as like always doing for somebody, always, doing that, whatever, or taking what I need to do and putting that to the back burner and going ahead and helping somebody else do that. That can take a toll on you. And it took a toll on me, until you start realizing like, you need to do more for yourself. And I can look back, one of my bros, he was telling me, he's like, man, you gotta be a little selfish sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Do for you. You know what I'm saying? So, it's kind of like they matter, but they don't matter. You know what I'm saying? And just do what you need to do for yourself so you can be the person for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't like it, then you need to keep moving, or that person ain't for you, or that relationship or friendship or whatever, that's probably gonna come to an end because they're not liking the person that you're becoming, because you're becoming more of yourself when you know what I'm saying, when you get into that mind frame of that, doing better for yourself and not, going with the crowd, but going that other direction and that other pathway. It's gonna be lonely, but in the end, it's gonna be better.
Right. And just to add, I think it can cause burnouts when you're living up to other people's expectations. It definitely can cause burnouts. I know for me, I'm taking a year off from family. Not saying that I don't want to be around family, but I'm the go-to person for my family as far as for event planning. And so this year it's like, okay, I'm not planning any events. I'm just going to do me. It is what it is. Whoever decides to step up and plan it, if it goes right, it doesn't go right, whatever. So when you live up to other people's expectations and you're not doing what makes you happy, that can cause burnouts. Mentally, it can drain you and can make you very unhappy. So I get it.
So how do you tell somebody who isn't living their truth, really, right? That's what we're talking about. Somebody who isn't following what they are called to do or what their purpose is and doing everybody else's bidding. What would you tell them? Like, how would you get them to not?
No. It's simple. No.
I think it's
A
got to
lot of
come
people
from
can't say no, though.
Yeah,
And that's something that people need to learn how to say. No. And for some people, it's hard to say. It was hard for me to learn how to say no. And you don't have to say it, to be ugly, but no, I'm not going to be able to. I promise you, people will find other people to help.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you can't, I mean, if you're always the go-to person and you say no, I mean, if they really your friend, or they understand you, whatever relationship you're in, they're gonna understand that you can't always do everything. Either they're gonna find somebody else to do it, or they're gonna be like, or they might get mad at you. If they get mad at you, that should indicate that person might not need to be where they head in your life.
Yeah, I'm about to say if somebody's gonna get mad at you for you telling them no, then that's probably somebody that's a user, and they've probably just been using you all this time anyway.
Right.
So how do you deal with that? How do you deal with the realization that you have been around users? And what if it's your family? And I know Keisha said she's taking about a year off, but there's people who are so in this mindset of they have to save their whole family, and it's draining them, and it's stopping them from being able to be who they are. But when you bring it up to them, their response is, it's family. What am I supposed to do? What would you say to them?
I mean, that's like tough, because it's tough to tell somebody not to do something that is helpful, or it could be harmful for somebody else, but then you have to like pull them away from the situation and then get them to look at it from an outside perspective, because sometimes they could be like so into it that they don't even understand that they're like overwhelmed and just everything is crashing down on them, because it's like it's so normal to them. So you just have to find that way to just pull them away from it. And sometimes it could be something as simple as, and I've heard like different people say this, something like taking somebody away for like, let's say, a quick getaway, just to like get them out of that normal day-to-day environment that they're in. And it could be something like a spa day, just a quick weekend trip, just taking them out of that day-to-day environment and just talking to them about some of those things. And then they may come to the realization that, man, yo, like this right here it feels good, and I feel a peace that I normally don't feel, and I need more of this. And then they go back to it, and they're able to say, hey, look, man, I'm willing to do some of it, but I can't give you as much as I've been giving you in the past.
Some moderation.
Moderation.
Yeah, in moderation.
Too, though. It's gonna take some self-reflection, and just to be in that, just to know that everybody will be all right without you. You know what I'm saying? Look at it at that standpoint, and also just, you know what I'm saying, they able-bodied, they got the same limbs that you do, and they can do it.
We hope we don't know that.
Well, I mean, in some cases. If they don't, you know what I'm saying, they got services. Okay. But just let them know.
Too much.
Nurse aides and all this other stuff, you know. And if it's hospice, they got that too. But oh, sorry, y'all. But I think, like Chris is saying, you got to pull them away and let them, you know what I'm saying, let them enjoy that time, and let them feel that, you know, and let them self-reflect on, okay, everything's all right if you ain't there. And, you know, but they still got to come to that realization that, hey, I need to do for myself too. But I mean, yeah, that get away, pull away, whatever, that work, and you know, just let them know. But you know, you can have that hard conversation, but at the end of the day, it's still their joy.
You're right, and that's really what it comes down to. I mean, you can pull them away, but if they're still answering the phone, if they're still responding to text messages, if they're still being the person, even though they're not there, it's not gonna. It has to come from that person to say, okay, this is not what I want to do. So what if it's not family demands? What if it's just people thinking they know better for you? They know best for you, so you should do this. I know best for you, so you should do this. You know, that's a really long shot. Don't even worry about that. Try this over here. What about that as an example?
I mean, so no one should know best for you. Like, you should know what's best for you. No one else should know what's best for you. And if anybody's telling you that, then they may have some other motives, or they're being selfish, or they're getting something out of it as well. Because I mean, you can't tell me what's best for me. I'm sorry. You might can maybe give me some advice on things, but to tell
what if
somebody,
you got blind spots?
No, I mean, see, well, no,
everybody has them.
Yeah, everyone has blind
Mhm.
spots, but then also other people may have blind spots to other things. So even though they might see certain things that I have going on, they don't know the whole picture. All they know is what I'm telling them or what they see. They might not know everything because I might not be forthcoming with everything to them. So like even though yeah, I may have some blind spots, you can tell me that, but then hey, you have blind spots to what I have going on as well.
So basically, your opinion matter, but it don't matter. It's bullshit.
Mhm.
Well, I think you
Be
should
like,
have
I hear
somebody
you.
that
Noted.
somebody that you trust to give you sound advice. Though, I think you should have somebody you trust. Not everybody, have somebody.
Well, I mean, if you got somebody in your corner that's like always like saying, "Oh, okay, that might not be a good idea," or "I think you should do this," but the thing is, like, and if they're pushing you something towards something that they have in their will that they want you to do that they can benefit off of, I don't think it's that's something you need to look at. Like if it's like they're trying to, okay, we're gonna do this, man. If you do this, you can help me out on this right here, then we can do this. See, there you go. We said go there. I'm talking
Right.
about me. You know what I'm saying? I need to like because I can say like okay, because I got a business degree, but I've been in the health, mental health field for a long time. And that personally I never thought I would be in the mental health field. I mean, I just like helping kids and found that was a passion of mine. But I also like the business world too. But due to some circumstances I had to do what I do. But now that there are other opportunities that present themselves, I may be able to, get back into something I really want to do. So those are choices. But if somebody's on the back end saying, "Hey, Mark, maybe we can start something else like this," and you really have that gut feeling like I don't want to do it, what I'm saying? You need to let that person know like that ain't gonna be a good idea. Do that. Start thinking about yourself and what you want to do. That's what's gonna make you happy.
Right.
In that aspect. Instead of like trying to jump into something else, partner on something else or jump in on somebody else's joint venture that you may know a little bit about, but not a lot about. You know what I'm saying? So you still got to make those choices for yourself, to see whether it's gonna work or not. And I would say to anyone that if it's something that you want to try or do, go do it. And if you feel like it's gonna be hard or whatever to try, still do it. In order to be successful, you got to fail. So I mean, fail forward. You're gonna fall forward, but you're gonna get back up. Towards your goal. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's gonna work for you. You might hit. That's it.
You don't necessarily have to fail. I'm just saying.
You don't. But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're gonna go through some bumps and bruises that you might have to readjust. And then,
I'll take readjust.
Readjust, what I'm saying, and move on. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you fail.
Listen, no. Well, I mean, sometimes Marcus fails. Sometimes.
I fail.
Ooh. Moving right along.
Yeah.
And all that makes perfect sense too. I don't fail. I get lessons. I don't fail.
Lessons equal blessings. Keep going.
You got any more? We dropping bars. You got any more?
Yeah, he did drop like 4-5 of them.
I know, right?
He was on a roll. He was on a roll. It was like, look, man, we was just taking it all in. Just like, yo.
It's preaching Sunday. Okay, well, this turn, I was really coming ready to really go at it, but I got nothing. I mean, it makes sense. You made sense today, Chris.
Look, see, hold on. First of all, you trying to make it seem like this is something new. Like you see, like man, you've been giving me props every single episode. You've been like, yo, Chris, man, like
I'm becoming a better human.
I'm doing me. Look, I told you, I've been putting in that work. I've been putting that at work, and now it's showing. And I'm
I'm gonna
glad
take
that everyone
15%
is
of that.
able to see that. How you gonna? Wow. How you gonna take credit for my
12%.
Here it goes.
man? I give you 5.
We never get through an episode without it. Go ahead.
8.
Yeah, that's
8.
look, man. Nah,
8.
man. Nah, we do 5.
7.
5.
6.
Take the 5. No, you just take the 5. Yeah, but no, but that's like certain things now. And like the reason, another thing is like, I think like nowadays everyone gets so like stuck on like with social media and seeing certain things. And then a lot of times I look at stuff on social media and it has, I ain't gonna say clouded my judgment, but it just, I can't look at anything and take anything for as sincere because I'm like, man, that's fake. Like everything I see online, I say, hey, that's fake. And then it's always like the same things just talked about. And it's like everyone's trying to live up to what other people expectations are. And it's like, yo, come on, man. Like, why can't people just think for themselves and basically live for themselves and not worry about what other people view them as? Or because at the end of the day, like I said, no matter what you do, it's to other people, it doesn't matter. Like it only matters to you. Just to like get back what we were talking about.
Unless you're doing something to them and it does matter to them. I mean, that's true. If you do something to me and you hurt me, it freaking matters to me. I know we're going in a whole nother tangent, but it's not necessarily say if whatever I do don't matter to you. Like if it's something directed towards me, it does. If you're being a crappy human and a garbage person and you do something to me, we're going to have a conversation.
But I mean, chances are that I've always been a crappy human.
Wow. Okay.
To you or that person. No, I'm just saying that's what it is. It's just now finally what happens is people would like tolerate. I know we talked about that the last time, but people would tolerate things until they don't want to tolerate it anymore. And then they get like bent out of shape about it. And I'm like, yo, like, damn, like I've been doing this all this time, but now it's a problem. So if it's not a problem in the beginning, then it can't be a problem.
It can be a problem anytime I say it's a problem. It can be a problem anytime I say it's a problem. That's like you, what? If I have done the work on myself and I'm advancing and I'm getting and doing healthier things in my life and making better choices, and you are still playing in the garbage, that's a problem for me. It might not have been a problem for me then because I was at that level, but I'm not there anymore. So now we're going to have to talk about it. And if you can't make an adjustment, then it's a problem and this is going to have to dissolve. So everybody changes, everybody grows. So maybe because something wasn't a problem in the beginning doesn't automatically say it's not going to be a problem moving forward because people change.
Yeah, but it just can't be like on one day the switch just gets flipped and
Why
it's
not?
like, hey, now.
And it might be.
Like,
why not?
It might be because sometimes you get into where you building yourself and you working on yourself and then you realize, okay, I really don't like the way this person treats me. I really don't like that. And then like, okay, I ain't gonna say iceberg effect, but maybe that time you being nasty or a garbage person, you know, that just rubbed the wrong way at that time. And then there were some words that were said that way. I mean, because, you know, and that happens. That happens in all types of relationships. So in that situation, you got to understand, like, whether it's y'all gonna have a conversation about it and change the way that y'all address each other, or like Michelle said, it may dissolve from there.
So I got a question. So just to go back to what Chris was saying, so if it wasn't a problem in the beginning, why would it be a problem now? I'm trying to understand that, because if it wasn't a problem, if it was originally a problem in the beginning, wouldn't it be addressed?
Okay, say somebody has a drinking problem. And in the
Right.
beginning, I was drinking too. So
Okay.
it's not a problem because we both drinking. We both getting high. Like, that's so funny coming from me. But as I go and get myself sober and do all the things to get right, that's going to be a problem now for me, because now you're making me look at you in a way of, okay, if I stay with this person, I'm going to be always being tempted to go slide back. So
Right.
I can't stay here because I've changed. So your drinking, your smoking is a problem for me and a problem for us.
Gotcha.
And if that doesn't get resolved, then we're going to have to dissolve. So that's one of the biggest examples I can
Yeah.
So that person,
What kind of
that
relationships are we
person,
talking about though?
can we stay with that
Anytime.
example? With that person, if you're starting your journey of alcohol and drug rehab, and you're entering that, if you're going to be with that person, they need to be willing to enter that with you. If not, then that's something that's going to end right then and there before you even went through your rehab. Because there's no way you're going to be able to walk together in that if that person is still an addict. So that's going to be dead right then and there if they're not going to walk through that process with you.
I agree.
That's just that example. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's an example how something might have been okay in the beginning, but it's no longer okay.
All right. I'm just trying to understand. Okay.
Yeah, see now, but Michelle, you also talked about far as like talking to that person and having that open line of communication, let them know, hey, this is where I'm at now and this is what I want to do. And then it's up to that person, like I said, either you get on board with it or look, man, we're gonna just have to split. But for like, let's say one thing for like, okay, one day you just wake up and say, hey, I don't want to do that anymore. And then you're like getting on this person, oh, well, you shouldn't drink that much, this and that. Like, man, like we was just drinking together the other day, like
that could
just
be
a couple days ago.
That could be an example of somebody using something to bounce. And that's very common too. Somebody can be like, I just don't want to be with this person no more, so I'm gonna find an excuse and that's gonna be it. Versus just saying, hey, this ain't working. For whatever reason, this ain't working. This ain't working for me. And people have done that. People have woken up and been like, right, Marcus?
That's BS.
I bet you put up in one of the
wow.
It don't.
Wow. Wow.
I'm just saying. I'm just going back to the chick, what she said. But it could be, yeah, you can wake up and have an epiphany and be like, oh, this ain't working. I got to get out of this. And in my lifetime, I've done it. But so it probably was in some bad way. Yeah, terrible way, I would say. I probably could talk about it, but I don't feel comfortable right now expressing those stories. But
and he said plural. He said stories with an S.
Yeah, stories. Yeah, stories. But I got them. But yeah, you can actually. I've had that happen. Oh man, and you just. I mean, it's like a feeling, but does you? I mean, you gonna act on it if you don't, and you don't act on it. Because if you don't act on it, you're still gonna be stuck on where you're at. But when you act on it, you may move and be in a better position, or it might be vice versa. So I probably I don't know if I can explain it properly, but I just know that sometimes it may be the right decision, and sometimes it may not be the right decision. Depends on where you at in your life, in that mind frame, what you doing, whether you doing something that's like not right, and you make a decision that is in a that's toward a toward like somebody else's game, or whether it's towards your game. Because when you make a decision, and I guess when you make a decision for that you weigh your options on someone else, then that's pretty much not a good decision. Because on the outcome of that, you doing it for them, you're not doing it for yourself. And then that may result in something else. Being miserable, unhappy, It's just sometimes you gotta get where it doesn't matter and it's BS and get out. Ooh,
Nicely stated.
saying. Ooh. I felt that. Ooh.
For the record, I've never done that. I'm just saying. I've never, because I know a lot of people are probably like, yeah, she's probably done that. I've never woken up one day and said it's a wrap. If I say it's a wrap to somebody, or if this ain't working out, we've had conversations about it multiple times. Because I'm a talker, I'm a communicator. So the first indication that something's up, we're gonna talk about it. I can't let something sit. It's just not. I can't. But it's shut up, Chris.
I didn't even say anything.
See how
I
was not happy with the face, and I came right at you.
I was a smile. That was a friendly smile. That was a confident smile because you are. I will say you are like that. Like if it's something that you don't do the passive aggressive or just beat around the bush. If it's, hey, look, man, I've seen it on multiple occasions. If it's something that's like an issue, you are right there taking it head on. And I mean, yeah, you don't find that from a lot of people, but I mean, yeah. I agree. You are like that.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. So I could do a story time, but I'm not. But Keisha, I'll let you finish it out, Keisha.
I mean, I don't really have a whole lot more to add to that. Don't have a whole lot more to add other than what's already been said as far as do what's going to make you happy. Make sure that hopefully you have at least one person that you can get wise counsel from, who can give you some sound advice. Don't live up to other people's expectations. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, this whole conversation went a whole different direction. So
it did.
And I'm happy about it because I was ready. I was like, we're gonna talk about this.
Such a simple phrase had so much in it. It was.
Yeah, I mean, it was short and sweet, and like I said, I mean, I'm glad we still kind of made it lighthearted and we joked around like we normally do. But I mean, it was a good, thought-provoking conversation, deep conversations, which we always have. But this right here, like, could have gotten a little bit more darker, but it was still lighthearted at times. But we still hit the major points. Everyone came to understanding.
It got dark. Just had to come out of it.
It got dim. It could have got dark. It was dim.
Yeah.
I'm keeping my mouth shut. I'm just going to hand it back to Chris since this is his episode.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, as far as wrapping it up, I mean, what I'm gonna just say is I mean, I already said it once, I'm gonna say it again. Just live for you and live for yourself, first and foremost. Nothing wrong with being selfish at times. It's nothing wrong with it, and it's all right. I think Keisha said it. It's okay to say no. And nothing is wrong with saying no and making yourself unavailable at times because you need that peace at times.
No is a complete sentence.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this episode up. You can catch us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Myself personally, I have taken and then also, I'm sorry, the website. But like I said, I've taken a mini break from social media. I just had to get back off of it and get away from it. I got some
all them people in your DMs.
It was, see, first of all, come on, don't be putting my business out there. But no, but I like I said, I've know what I'm saying, taking a step back from social media, but no, I'm saying I'll be back surely enough. So in the meanwhile, take care, be safe. And I forgot what the third one is, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad. What's the third one, Michelle?
It's take care, stay safe, and be well.
Be well. Okay.
All right, we're wrapping it up.